Hello, freshies. I know I'm on a roll. I had some in between because I printed this out because I was reminded of some stuff that is important and for us to remember too. Like basic, but we get so caught up in stuff because of all the negotiable instruments talk and how it's relevant to use the UCCs and the different codes for the negotiable instruments, and that's great. But I just want people to remember, I just printed this out for me, is that that's not where our rights stand, because the codes, you know how some people like to cite Title 18 and different codes and statutes and regulations. Just be careful because that is the corporation. That is for the DC jurisdiction. That's for them. That's for them. That wasn't us. We like to stand on Article, what was it? It's 9 and 10, which kind of leaves room open for our unalienable rights, you know. And it's funny because it's like a bill, you know, and we're dealing with bills all the time. And this is almost like a bill of credit as well. And so I like to have this with me to remind myself and to use as, you know, if they need some type of identification or this and that, you know. Or if you're, you know, we don't want to contend because, we don't want to contend with these people. Because even that book, the UCC code, already, you know, the UCC connection, how to free yourself from legal tyranny. It seems like everybody now knows about that little booklet. It's funny, I had that for a few years, and it's great to see. Hopefully my son and daughter will see some videos and be like, oh shoot, mom put us onto that book and we didn't want to pay attention. I don't even know if they read it. One can hope, but you know, I just pray because I have such headstrong, you know, as much as I have strangers who will, you know, that's how it is. The foe, you know, your foes will be that of your own households. People that you would bleed for will see you bleeding, you know what I mean? It's unfortunate, but I'm really grateful that a lot of people know about that UCC connection. So, you know, I hope that eventually they'll come across it again and they'll come back into their remembrance like, wow, I guess she was right, you know. Sometimes when you say stuff, it's so advanced or so ahead of your time, you know, because we're living in that movie Idiocracy. I feel like I've been fast forward into the future and I'm no smarter than you. It's just society, man, right? Society. Whew, being involved in society, sometimes it's overrated. A lot of us want to go off grid and do our charitable ministry there, you know what I mean? We're all supposed to be, we're all ordained in the womb. You don't need the state to do anything. But the Bill of Rights, guys, stand on this. This is great, and just remind yourself, okay? So let's go over it quickly. Amendment 1, Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion. And what do? Right? All these so-called agendas going on. Or prohibiting the free exercise thereof. Or abridging the freedom of speech, or of the press, or the right of the people peaceably to assemble, and to petition the government for a redress of grievances. Amendment 2. A well-regulated militia being necessary to the security of a free state, the right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Amendment 3. No soldier shall in time of peace be quartered in any house without the consent of the owner, nor in time of war, but in a manner to be prescribed by law. Amendment 4. The right of the person to be, or the right of the people, to be secure in their persons, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrants shall issue but upon probable cause, supported by oath or affirmation, and particularly describing the place to be searched and the persons or things to be seized. Amendment 5. No person shall be held to answer for a capital or otherwise infamous crime unless on a presentment or indictment of a grand jury, except in cases arising in the land or naval forces or in the militia when in actual service in time of war or public danger. Nor shall any person be subject for the same offense to be twice put in jeopardy of life or limb, nor shall be compelled in any criminal case to be a witness against himself, nor be deprived of life, liberty, or property without due process of law. Nor shall private property be taken for public use without just compensation. Isn't that very important, right? Right? We need our just compensation. Amendment number 6. In all criminal prosecutions, the accused shall enjoy the right to a speedy and public trial by an impartial jury of the state and district wherein the crime shall have been committed, which district shall have been previously ascertained by law, and to be informed of the nature and cause of the accusation, to be confronted with the witness against him, to have compulsory process for obtaining witnesses in his favor, and to have the assistance of counsel for his defense. Amendment 7. In suits at common law, where the value in controversy shall exceed $20, the right of trial by jury shall be preserved, and no fact tried by a jury shall be otherwise re-examined in any court of the United States than according to the rules of the common law. Amendment 8. Excessive bail shall not be required, nor excessive fines imposed, nor cruel and unusual punishments inflicted. Amendment 9. The enumeration in the Constitution of certain rights shall not be construed to deny or disparage other rights. That's right. Or the unnamed, it's almost like what's not being said, all your unalienable rights, the right to travel, life, liberty, personal property, all that good stuff, right? And so we like these two. And also, I mean, they all have their place, right? But, just really remember where your rights come from. Of course, it comes from the Most High. We stand on the Bible, and it's not a coincidence that you got 10, right, amendments in the Bill of Rights. This is very akin and reminiscent to the 10 commandments in the Bible. Yes and yes. So Amendment 10, the power is not delegated to the United States by the Constitution, nor prohibited by it to the states. Very interesting, and it's lowercase s. A lot of times we get into the habit of writing it uppercase, but look at that. It's lowercase there. Are reserved to the states respectively, or to the people. See how we were talking about lowercase and capitis diminutio? Well, this is a great PDF. I'll put this for you guys because it's only 2 pages. Can you really go wrong? And it's great to know the UCC codes and all that other stuff for the banking that this commercial system is dealing with. We understand the banking terminology. That's very important, especially when you're dealing with negotiable instruments and we're dealing with debt discharge. But just remember, that's not where your rights come from. because I just listened to different cases, like actual recorded cases, where people try to cite certain codes, right? I'm not sure if it was 42 USC, but it didn't stand. Okay, so that was big right there. You know, you can't, that's not where our rights derived from. Of course, it came from above, but again, you have to know the so-called chain of command of it all, right? There's a lot of information in the state constitutions. I was reading a little bit in Article 4 of the Constitution of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, which described the people being a free and sovereign, self-governing people forever. So, you know, with this together with the United States for America Constitution, because you got the original organic one, then you got the new, then you got the corporate side. I mean, man, talk about being behind the looking glass, right? Totally. So you got the real and the fake, even with that. So this is, you know, you really have to use your spiritual senses. Even with this stuff I've been trying to tell people, the so-called truth movement, it's almost like you're almost like Stevie Wonder. You're not looking at it with your eyes, you know, as much as you are with your seventh sense, or your, you know, your, they talk sixth sense, you know, we're going other senses. I'm sure we got many, many more senses, seventh, eighth, ninth, you know what I mean? We're tapping into our intuitive side deeper than we ever have before, right? So you almost gotta let the Most High, you gotta let Him guide you. I know everybody got their own guides, guys. You got that term already bastardized. Oh, I got my spirit guide for this and that. Yeah, okay, just look how succinct even the law is here with the Bible. And then you got the 10 Commandments, and how a lot of this stuff was drawn up. They gave alms to a supreme creator. So, you know, it's not hard to see, right, where they got it from. But the Bill of Rights, okay, Amendments 1 through 10, just make sure you stand on, you know, the true laws, especially everybody's talking about Nasara and all this stuff. Oh, we're going back to constitutional this and that. And then when it's time to defend their rights, they're going off into the codes and they forget all about the darn Constitution. You know what I mean? It's like, whoa, we're going in, you know, a dark alley. Let's be careful with that, because there's a lot of case law that cites that, you know, when you just lean on that, that's not a good look. So just be careful. And I'll put this reference for you guys. Have a good night. I'll talk to you soon.